By the time they settle down, let's start because the time is precious. You are all hearing about FEMA course and over there. What happened? Knowingly or unknowingly, we make some mistakes. And to grow India, we need a liberal law. So Government of India has moved from FERA, earlier was a criminal law, now FEMA is a civil law. So Government of India was very keen to put some amount on a genuine persons and regularize their offences, where their intention was not malafide, their actions was not against the country, and they are not involved in challenging the sovereignty of the nations, and they are not involved in money laundering activities. Sir, every day all the professionals who are sitting in the room, day to day file FCGPR and so many forms and so many, there could be a delay. Like you have filed APR late, you have filed share certificate late. So Reserve Bank of India, earlier they were doing compounding, now they have bring late submission. Yes. And although my topic was compounding, but my compounding topic would be incomplete if I could not talk about the late submission. Reserve Bank of India has bring this circular last year, 30th September 2000. They have mentioned two paragraphs. In one paragraph, those forms you have filed late, but they are not involved for inflow and outflow. Just FLA returns, you are filing APRs. So 7,500 rupees, irrespective of the number of years, right? But those forms like FCGPR, ODI, ECB2 returns, Form ECB, they are connected with the money. So the amount is 7,500 is fixed, 0.025% multiplied by A multiplied by N. It will come out with peanuts just. So in this circular, they have covered only the documentation part with respect to three regulations. One is FDI, second is ODI, and third is ECB, borrowing and lending, not other than that. And that is, this LSF is only for the late in filing of the form. If you have done any policy deviation, like before my lecture somebody was talking about valuations. Let's say your valuation was 12 rupees, but you have allotted the share at the rupees 10. So this cannot be regularized by paying the LSF. You have to bring 2 rupees, then you will file FCGPR, then it will be approved, then you will go for compounding. So the late submission fees is a welcome move, is a simple procedure, no complications. You just file your forms. There are 3 points. In foreign investments, non-debt instrument rules 2019, external commercial borrowings 2019, and overseas investment 2022, right? The difference we should understand. The foreign investment and ECB, if you have any filing delays within 3 years of the due date, in about two, then you can file LSF. In overseas investment, when our act is enacted on 1st June 2000, there was a regulation called 19, then 19 has been replaced by 120, and 120 has been replaced by 400. Am I right, sir? So all 3 are covered in overseas investment. So let's say what happened, your company has issued corporate guarantee. I give you the common mistakes made by the corporates. They issue the corporate guarantees. Corporate guarantee is also a financial commitment. You must file your form ODI. Am I right, sir? But you forget because this transaction has not passed through a banker, right? But later on you realize your mistake. So what you can do, you can file your form FC. Now ODI form has been replaced by FC today, and banker will upload to the Reserve Bank. Then you will apply for LSF, just a plain paper letter to the bank. The mail will come from the Reserve Bank that so much of money you have to pay, and that money you can pay by NEFT or RTGS. When you make the payment, within 2 hours you have to send an email to the Reserve Bank. That's it. And you will receive an acknowledgement. That offense has been regularized. The beauty of that. So in compounding and LSF, what is the difference? LSF, the amount is very less. You can make 20 mistakes in LSF. Let's say 20 forms are late. But in compounding, if you have compounded your offense, you cannot make same contravention again in next 3 years. So if your case anyway falls in LSF, my request every person to go for LSF. The circular is very simple, plain, no professional need to be hired for that. You can just file your documents and RBI will send you an email and your case get regularized. I give you the more examples like FLAs. FLA has to be filed where you have made overseas investment or whether your company has received foreign investment. If you have delay in FLA, nobody is going to catch you, right? Nobody is going to catch you. But when you go on Monday in your office and you check that your FLAs are late, you voluntarily return to your AD bank, giving all the receivings that my FLA is late, and they will forward to RBI. You will receive an email and you pay the LSF sitting in your office. Although you can pay the amount by way of demand draft or pay order, but it is better you make it online. So my request to everybody, just visit your own files. If your case falls under, because sir, so many times what happened in past, people think that this file is late. If RBI catch me, then I will do it. Otherwise, let's put the things under the carpet. Now things have changed. So Reserve Bank circular is very liberal. I have never seen this kind of liberalization in terms of penalty, basically to liberalize it. Because if you could not do so, and you are not aware of that fact, right? And your case is under adjudication. Let's say investigation has started. You are not aware of LSF, you are not aware of any compounding. Then the investigating officer will prepare a note of your contravention, give it to the adjudicating officer. And adjudicating officer will impose you very hefty fine. Because all are aware that the penalties in FEMA is 300%. And he is not going to impose you less than 40% or 50%. So all the contravention with relate to the late filing, it is highly recommended to opt for LSF. But it is not necessary that your case should fall within 3 years. You may have a case beyond that, then you should go for compounding.
Should be done first before going for compounding?
Sir, I'll tell you, you have raised 1 point, I tell you 10 points. There is a difference. What happens? Every startup wants money, you know, every startup need money. But when they approach the private equity investors, they said, we want the equity should be in US, in Singapore. We will not invest directly into India. This is very simple. You can read on Economics Times, so many articles are written over there. So they flip the time. What they do, they set up a company in India with 1 lakh rupees. Their friend or near and dear set up a company in Singapore or in Delaware. Okay, that shares of that company gifted to you. So gift was allowed under notification number 120, and there is no need to file form ODI for the gift of shares. That company owned Indian company. So what happened? You owned Singapore company as a free of cost, and that company has raised some amount, and that company has bought the Indian company shares. So basically a round tripping, you can say like this. Sir, gifting was allowed. There is no doubt about it. I'm not saying there is no doubt. But the whole structure killed the soul of notifications.
That's right.
It is not the soul. Sir, I'll tell you what happened. The August 2013, the resident individuals have been allowed to set up a company abroad. In August 2013, Before that, they were not allowed. But people were taking a stand that in LRS, in FAQ's answer, they have listed unlisted shares. So they are setting up the companies, right? So in 5th August 2013 circular, they say if you acquire a company, so acquisition means 51%. If you set up a company, even if for $1, you need, you have to file Form ODI. In today's world, what happened? If you set up any company abroad, you have to have filed Form FC and you have to take UIN. Even if, sir, if you go back to your computer and see it, for gift also, you have to file Form FC. Earlier, for gift, there is no need to file any Form ODI. But now gift has come under Form FC. You have to file Form FC, you have to obtain UIN. It means by next year you have to file Form APR also. So in this rules, regulations and directions which have been issued on 22nd 2000, Reserve Bank of India and Government of India, they have ironed out all the problems. Problems never ends, may come as per the situation, but by and large they have. Nowadays only a listed shares are available for the resident individuals to invest. For unlisted, they have to take UIN.
No, you mentioned our LRS in, say, before 2013. So meaning that those contraventions should go in for compounding.
Yes, sir. They will go for compounding. And because my topic is today compounding, I'll tell you how they calculate the compounding. LSF, I have already speak with you. No, that's not an issue. You can deal it. Now come to the compounding. Sir, Reserve Bank do compounding only in those cases which are completely regularized, got post facto approvals, right?
Correct.
If they are not deserve to be regularized, you have unwind the transactions.
That's true.
Okay?
Correct.
Then they will take your case for compounding. Before that, they will not take your case for compounding, right? If you make any penny from those activities which are against the policy, right, they will snatch from you. That is the word they use, undue gain. And the word they use, neutralize the gain. Let's say from August 2013, you were not deserving to set up a company abroad, but you set up it and you make crores of profit. So they will impose, they will take all the profits from August 2013 before that period, and you have to pay it. If you try not to pay it, let's say you go for compounding, they pass a compounding order, you say I don't pay it. Compounding order is not appealable.
It is not. That's
Okay.
correct.
Payment period is 15 days from the date of the order.
Correct.
If you choose not to pay, then it will be presumed that you have never filed a compounding application, and they are bound to send your case for the adjudication.
True.
So when you go for compounding, my request, everybody should calculate himself how much amount we are going to pay in compounding and make a reserve in your bank account.
So ultimately you have to pay it.
You have to pay it because the compounding order is not appealable at all.
Correct.
Is not appealable.
Correct. So at least he'll be able to save 300% of penalty if it goes for adjudication.
Yes, sir. Adjudication, I'll tell you a very simple and comparison. LSF I have already done. Compounding is a far more liberal.
Correct.
Reserve Bank just check whether your intention was honest. You have made a certain mistakes. Okay, let's regularize it and come for compounding. But if you do not go for that route, and you could not go, so many reasons.
Correct.
Now, in investigation, how the investigation start? Under section 37 of FEMA, they send you a notice. Please bring these information. Then they will send you a summon, right? Come to, and they note your, and they will do whatever inquiry they want, and then prepare a complaint copy, and they file that complaint copy with the adjudicating officer. The adjudicating officer decide by the how much amount is involved. If amount is less than 1 crore, maybe assistant director can do more than the deputy director, then a special director, a principal director, depend upon quantum involved over there. He will file a complaint. His job is over. So investigating officer paying a bribe to the investigating officer is not going to save anybody, because he cannot impose anything. He can just collect a data, represent in the complaint and file the complaint. His job is over. Now adjudicating officer will review the complaint. If he finds he is satisfied that the complaint is correct, complete, then he will issue you a show cause notice along with a copy of complaint, and he will give you an opportunity to visit his office if you want to see any statement, any evidences in support of which complaint has been issued. You can take that copies. Then you will appear before the adjudicating officer. Sir, the golden point which I am going to share with everybody in this room, you can go for compounding when your investigation is start, when your investigator has filed a complaint and your adjudication proceedings is going on. Still you can file compounding.
Correct.
But once adjudication order is passed, you cannot file compounding.
True.
So compounding cannot be done in two cases. Hawala cases, section 3, clause A. You cannot file compounding. 37A, black money. You have a assets outside India and you are not bringing into India. That cases cannot be compounded. Plus where PMLA, money laundering, and you are challenging the sovereignty of my nation. So these cases cannot be compounded. These cases can only go for adjudication. So many times, me myself has designed a strategy to go for adjudication rather than going for the compounding. How? Why? Because I know Reserve Bank will compound my offense only when I regularize it. When I cannot regularize it, they will never compound my offense. So what option I left? I have to adjudicate it. If I don't go for adjudication, your file will never close.
Correct.
In Enforcement Directorate, your file will never close if you do not get it adjudicated from the officer. Even if they are so, I could not use the harsh word, but if you get an adjudication order and department feels that the adjudicating officer has given an order in favor of you, they have imposed less amount, they appeal against their officer also.
Yeah.
And get it wide up an issue and matter come back to again fresh.
Correct.
So Enforcement Directorate practice is a different ball game, and compounding is a different ball game, and LSF is a very simple matter.
True. Very correct.
Choice is yours.
Sir, if we done any something which is against the policy matter, so what should be the procedure? First to get an post
Yes, sir.
then close the transaction and
Yes.
then go for compounding.
Sir, I'll tell you. In compounding, there is a prerequisite. Prerequisite. The word prerequisite is written in RBI Master Direction. Prerequisite is first get a regularization, get post facto approval. Okay. If that case, let's say you are a NRI, you lived in Washington. By mistake, you have purchased agricultural land in India. You were not aware, but you bought it, no problem. So you cannot get compounded this offense by holding the land. What you should do? You should approach to Reserve Bank immediately. For this, all over India, the center is Delhi, central office in Delhi. Let me tell you about the RBI. RBI is divided into three parts. For FEMA, take my words. One is a regional office. Let's say your FCGPR in Delhi, go to the RBI Parliament Street, right? Kanpur will go to Kanpur RBI, Bhopal RBI will go to Bhopal. That is a regional office. All FCGPR related compounding will go to the regional offices. Okay. ECB compounding, ODI compounding will go to the RBI Mumbai, right? If you have a project office compounding, branch office, liaison office, and you have bought property outside India wrongly, you have somebody, NRI has bought property in India, and NRIs wrongly have a Indian bank accounts. All these contraventions get compounded from central office cell in Delhi. So central office cell does not mean only Mumbai, because RBI central office is in Mumbai. But for these offences, branch office, project office, liaison office, property outside India, property inside India, and having a NRE, NRO bank accounts. These contravention will go to the Delhi office, central cell. That's called. In RBI, New Delhi also there is a two thing. One is regional office, one is central cell. Now, what we should do when we came to know this is offense? First, approach to Reserve Bank. Don't go rush to the filing a compounding. Reserve Bank has a division for every regulation. Like every regulation has a division. Reserve Bank in FEMA, I think everybody is aware that Reserve Bank in FEMA there is a regulation. Every division holds some regulations. So we should approach that. I'll give you one example. Let's say I'm a resident individual. My brother lives in US. Okay. So how much money I can gift in 1 year under LRS? $250,000. But what I do, I make a Indian rupees check of 18 crore and deposit in his Indian NRO account. So banker has not get an opportunity to see it, they credit the amount. But later on, I realize it, that I made a mistake. Because 250,000. What you can do? Immediately, you should take the difference amount back and approach to payment division in Mumbai. That's called external payment division. They handle the LRS matters, right? That I have made this mistake and that mistake have been made unknowingly, but I have regularized it. I take this money back and kindly give me, issue me a MOC, Memorandum of Contravention. They will issue you MOC. Once you get that Memorandum of Contravention, along with that, you file your compounding application. So sir, if you directly go to the compounding, nobody stop you. You can make your compounding application, make 5,000 rupees, you can deposit. What the CEFA cell? CEFA cell means a cell which handles the compounding application. Cell for effective implementation of FEMA. That is called CEFA cell. The CEFA cell will collect your application, send to the respective division, give your comments. If comments come positive, your compounding application will through. If they could not satisfy, then compounding application will return to you. Because compounding application is a time-bound process. Within 180 days, it needs to be closed off. So it is better to get the clearance from the respective division before going to the directly to the CEFA cell to avoid any inconvenience to you. But I play in practice. Let's say my case comes into the investigation and I found I have a plenty of time. Then I will go with this methodology. When I figure out that I don't have a time, my case has gone for adjudication. Because you never know on which stage your client is going to hire you.
In that case,
I'll immediately and file the compounding application. Once I submit a compounding application and give a acknowledgement to the adjudicating officer, it is nowhere written, but they held in abeyance their adjudication proceedings. They give you time, okay, go and get it, order for that. I hope you understand. So if you hired at a later stage and adjudication proceedings is going on, so my advice to you, immediately file your compounding application. Even if you know that it required certain, regularization, and submit a copy of that to the adjudicating officer. Things will move on and work hard to get it regularized.
But there is a monetary limit also, 200 lakhs or something for CEFA. 2 crore से ऊपर के cases CEFA में जाएंगे.
Sir, CEFA, I'll tell you, if your case is up to 10 lakh, then it will be handled by AGM. More than 10 lakh and less than 40 lakhs, then your case will handled by DGM.
Correct.
More than 40 lakhs and up to 1 crore, it will be handled by DGM. More than 1 crore, it will be handled by Chief General Manager.
That way.
It's not my job who officer will
No,
do.
that's
Even if
fine, just
RBI is
asking.
doing, I am not.
No, that's okay. I mean,
Ah.
there is
No, no, you can ask what.
Curiosity.
But I don't care if RBI is.
In one particular case, a non-resident acquired agricultural land and then converted that into industrial, commercial. But now that case has come up that, and then he filed an application for compounding. So compounding order has come that you reverse the transaction. How to handle it?
Sir, I do not know what the case has been presented to somebody. I have done lot of cases with the Ma Saraswati Kripa. I have largest order in India of compounding. So you ask whatever question and combinations you want. Now, in that situation, we make a table. Table when I bought the agricultural land, and my offense get regularized when this land has been converted into the industrial land. So this is the period. So I myself calculated this offense period and go to the RBI. Sir, I admit that I made a mistake, right? This is my offense. If RBI officer is clever, if he is a sharp mind, what he will do? He will get you a valuation of on the date when this land has converted into the agricultural land and penalize you about the difference which you have bought and what the valuation you got on the industrial.
And you gain.
Yeah. If he is my friend, I will advise him, do this. So,
Friend को positive advice करेगा, negative.
Sir, sir, I'll tell you, when investigating officer file any complaint, and if he think that the asset should also be confiscated, then he can make a remark that asset should also be confiscated. So many agricultural lands have also been confiscated in Goa and everywhere.
But
So if you are
this section 6(3) got eradicated from the 6(3) was deleted. The
6(3)
section which was actually prohibiting, please allow me to complete.
yeah.
The section 6(3) of the Foreign Exchange Management Act was deleted by 2019, not 2019, I think earlier, so 2015 or so, it was deleted from the statute book. But it was not notified for few years. But now, of course, it's notified in 2019. And that is the section under which agriculture thing was prohibited actually. Now they have brought in 2A in place of section 3. And 2A is comes from a particular date. And if your offence is before 2A, before the 2A comes, that means under 2A also they might have said that agriculture you can't do. That of course, because that is a generic thing. But 6(3) was specifically talking of agriculture. So once the government of India, Parliament itself has deleted that particular offence, I appreciate. My view is, and that is the view which we have taken, and I think possibly succeeded at the tribunal also, that in that case, once 6(3) has been deleted, the offence stands deleted. Because there is a fundamental principle in Constitution, whatever is the crime at the time you might have committed, if later on it becomes a non-crime, then your earlier crime also get washed. And accordingly, we filed that petition because the client came to us when the adjudication happened, and after that appeal has also happened with commissioner, and now at the tribunal level we have filed only petition. Tribunal we filed, my lord, this 6(3) is now gone. So they said no, it has not been notified, but of course we kept on taking dates. Notified, we kept on taking dates, and by the time it got notified in 2019 or so. And thereafter, of course, then matter is thank you very much. In my view, because 2A came later. 2A came after the offence was committed. And future provisor cannot prosecute me for the earlier offence. Earlier offence cannot be prosecuted now because that section itself has been deleted without any saving clause. What do you have to say?
I can't comment on it because I go by the RBI regulations.
I'm talking the act. I'm talking the regulation.
Yeah. Sir, in regulations 2015, the section the Finance Act made a drastic changes in FEMA Act. But government has taken a time. Like the FDI regulations in November 2017, it was working till October 2019. Thereafter, in October 19, they issued the non-debt instrument rules. So, in my opinion, till the, because central government can only publish a rules, regulations published by the Reserve Bank. If you want to close it, I have covered
Yeah,
in my
major issues you have. Major
Yeah.
issues you have already
Yeah.
covered.
Yeah, we have 4 to 5 minutes.
So, for everybody's benefit, when you go for compounding, you should go to the Reserve Bank of India website. You can download the master direction on compounding, and you can download the circulars. First point. Second, you go to the forms. You can download 31st October 2022. They have revised the compounding form. Now they have taken the GSTN number also. You can download the form. That speaks itself. There is no need to go any book or any nothing. You can make your own compounding application. Just think that whatever written is, you have to do it. That's it. 5,000 rupees GD is there if they compound. If they don't compound, they will return your money also.
So where to
Yeah,
find
any
the
deficiency, they return the entire.
And the date of acceptance of compounding application is not the date when you submit. The date when you have removed all the difficulties. Yeah.
Adjudication कैसे पता लगेगा, वो कहाँ पर लिखता है?
सर वो कंपाउंडिंग का जो मास्टर डायरेक्शन का सर्कुलर है उसमें सारा लिखा है, आपको कोई समस्या नहीं आएगी बिल्कुल।
Adjudication which we are briefing के कौन-
सर वो सब मैंने भी वहीं से ही बताया, वो सब वहीं लिखा है, आप परेशान ना हो, उसमें आपको सब कुछ। अगर किसी का कोई खुदा नहीं है तो आप मानो वो सेंट्रल ऑफिस जाएगा। आप मेरी बात समझे? अगर जैसे सारी नदियां समुद्र में विलीन हो जाती है ना, ऐसे जिस ऑफेंस के बारे में कोई जुरिडिक्शन नहीं लिखा, यू मेक एन एप्लीकेशन टू 5th फ्लोर अमर बिल्डिंग रिजर्व बैंक सैफास है CGM मैटर एंड्स, बिकॉज इन FEMA देयर नंबर ऑफ रेगुलेशंस आर देयर। देखिए मैंने आपको बताया अगर FDI रिलेटेड मैटर्स हैं तो वो रीजनल ऑफिस में जाएंगे, उसमें भी कुछ FDI की सारे वायलेशंस नहीं होते हैं रीजनल ऑफिस पे, उन्होंने रेगुलेशन नंबर दिए हैं, वो वहाँ पर कंपाउंड होंगे। ECB का मैटर बॉम्बे होगा, ODI का मैटर बॉम्बे होगा, राइट। अगर किसी NRI ने किसी, अब मैं आपको एक बहुत कॉमन कॉन्ट्रावेंशन बताता हूँ। इंडियन कंपनीज में NRIs डायरेक्टर होते हैं और वो लोन दे देते हैं कंपनी को NRO से, गिव इट टू लोन। These offences will be compounded at central office मुंबई। तो जिस भी रेगुलेशन को आप कंपाउंड कराना चाहते हैं, आप देखिए कि वो रेगुलेशन किस रीजनल ऑफिस में फॉल करती है। अगर वो नहीं है तो फिर आप सेंट्रल ऑफिस मुंबई जाइए। अगर गलती से आपने वहाँ फाइल कर दी तो हफ्ते 15 दिन में वो वापस आपको भेज देंगे और ईमेल पे कम्युनिकेट कर देंगे आपको। अपना ईमेल आईडी और फ़ोन नंबर ज़रूर दीजिए उसमें। आई थिंक इट्स फेयर एनफ। थैंक यू।